Hi everyone, my name is Siwei Lu and today we'll be presenting my CLA2 report for, excuse me, entrepreneurial finance. My presentation will cover the topic of system liquidation of a venture and also evaluation and acquisition analysis of ACE Corp. This goal is to show how different exit strategies, valuation methods, and merger consideration affect the financial outcome of both founders and investors. So here's a quick overview of today's agenda. I will begin with an executive summary that gives you a big picture. Then I will walk you through the major findings from my report. After that, I will explain the analysis process I use and why I choose certain financial models. Next, I will provide recommendations based on the findings, followed by the learning outcomes I gained from completing the major assignment in this course. PA1, CLA1, PA2, and this final CLA2. Finally, I will wrap up the reference that supported my analysis. So this report examines systematic liquidation as the exit for ventures that outline its strengths and simplicities and predictabilities and its weakness, the loss of outgoing concern value and slower payouts for investors. I then applied valuation models is equal to using the Gordon growth model. This gives us a standalone equity value of about $44 million or 80.86 per share. Um, Founders, what was especially interesting is how the returns different for founders versus venture capitalists because founders entered early at a much lower cost. Their returns were significantly higher than those of the VCs. Finally, I looked at Gava's proposed acquisition of ACE by factoring in expected synergies such as improved distribution and growth. ACE's value increased to about 47.6 million. So here's some major findings. First, systematic liquidation is indeed a clear and structured process. Assets are sold, the debts are paid, and remaining funds going to shareholders. But the downside is that it usually destroys intangible value like brand reputation, customer loyalty, and goodwill. But let me see, we often end up with less than if you sold the company as a going concern. Secondly, using the Golden Growth models, ACE Corp standalone equity value come to about 44.3 million. Third, the returns between investors were very different. The venture capitalists and the strong returns at around 38% IRR, which is solid for the founders because they entered early and at a much lower price per share, and extraordinary returns over 1,600 total and about 78 IRR annually. Finally, the government proposed acquiring ACE, including synergies, increased ACE's value to 47.6 million. This shows how mergers can unlock extra value that doesn't exist in a standalone scenario. So to get those results, I used the Golden Growth model, which is a type of discounted cash flow analysis. This model is useful because ACE has reached a stable stage where its cash flow was expected to grow at a steady rate. At Plug, ACE's projected free cash flow, this growth rate, and a weighted average cost of capital or AWACC. This gave me the enterprise value that I just need for debt and cash to arrive at equity value. For Gamma's acquisition scenario, I factored higher expected cash flows and a slightly higher growth rate due to synergies. At the time, I raised AWACC to a higher risk. That gave me the new synergy adjusted value. For this analysis, I came up with four key recommendations. First, systematic liquidation should really only be used when there are no better options. It's clean and simple, but it destroys too much value compared to mergers, acquisitions, or IPO. Second, for entrepreneurs, early ownership is everything. Founders in this case earn ordinary returns because of their low entry costs and early position. Surely mergers and acquisitions is critical to carefully model synergies. You need to look not just at the upside in cash flow and growth, but also in the interest rates. And lastly, synergy benefits should be shared fairly between acquirer and target. Now with both sets of shareholders feel like they're gaining from a deal, which makes the transition more likely to succeed. For the learning outcome, For the PA1, I focused on entrepreneur financing options. I learned how to evaluate different sources of funding, such as venture capital, angel investment, and debt. In CLA1, I practiced applying discounted cash flow models to value companies. That was important lesson in being both realistic and cautious when making financial projects. A small change in WACC growth can have a huge impact on the final enterprise value. In PA2, or in CLA2, I put everything together, analysis, systematic liquidation, and values ACE Corp, and I modeled the effect of Gamma's acquisition. This taught me how valuation models, ownership structures, and synergy consolidation all intact, all interact in real-world situations. Here are some references I use for my analysis. So thank you guys.